let's be real for a second. You're watching this right now, which means you're online. And my guess is this isn't the first time you've been online today. We live our lives connected, right? We scroll, we tap, we type. It's just what we do. But here's the kicker. Does all that time we spend online actually mean we're skilled? Well, the answer might not be what you think.
So, let me ask you something. Just think about yesterday. How many hours did you spend looking at a screen? And I mean, be honest with yourself. From that first scroll when you woke up to that last video before bed.
Well, a recent survey asked that exact question. And the answer is kind of shocking. For most of us, it's more than 8 hours a day. Yeah, 8+ hours. That is literally a full-time job, an entire workday every single day, just navigating the digital world. So where does all that time go? No surprise here, a huge chunk is on social media. Then you've got all the work and communication stuff, Slack, Teams. And now, more and more, we're all playing around with AI tools like ChatGPT. So yeah, we're definitely comfortable using the internet, but hidden inside all this usage is a really fascinating contradiction.
This all leads to what we can call the confidence paradox. It's this weird gap that opens up between how much we use all these digital tools and, how proficient we actually are with them.
I mean, let's just say it. When it comes to consuming content, watching videos, reading posts, scrolling through feeds, we are absolute experts. We are masters of consumption. We can navigate these platforms in our sleep. But what happens when we have to flip the script? When it's not about consuming, but about creating? Well, that's where our confidence just takes a nosedive. Surveys show this huge split. We feel like pros using platforms, but our confidence in actually making our own videos or writing something insightful, it's way, way lower. There's a massive difference between watching and doing. And the numbers totally back this up. Get this, a whopping 90% of people create original content only sometimes or rarely. 90%. That means for all those hours we're online, the vast majority of us are just passive consumers, not active creators. And this is the paradox in a nutshell, right? We spend more than 8 hours a day online, but when you ask people directly, the overwhelming majority say, yeah, I feel like I need more training in digital skills. Deep down, we know there's a gap. We know that just being online isn't the same as being skilled.
Okay, so what does this confidence paradox look like out in the real world, in a job? Let's zoom in on a field where these digital skills are, well, everything. Let's talk about marketing.
So check this out. It's a self-assessment from one marketer. Notice they feel pretty great about the stuff you can see, right? Creating posts, promoting them on social media, high confidence. But look what happens when we get to the technical stuff, the work that happens behind the curtain. Reading and understanding data, making a website show up on Google, boom, the confidence just plummets. They're good at making noise, but not so sure if it's the right noise. And this one example, it actually reveals a much bigger truth about all of this. True digital proficiency isn't just about crafting that one perfect viral post. It's about understanding all the complex machinery that's working underneath. I want you to picture it like a ladder. The bottom rung, the easiest one to reach, is just posting content. Pretty much anyone can do that. You climb up a bit, and now you're running paid ads. Okay, a little more technical. Climb higher, and now you're analyzing the campaign data to see what actually worked. And right at the very top is using all of that information to build a complete, cohesive strategy. The problem is, a lot of people are stuck on that first rung.
And this isn't just a one-off. When you look at the aggregated data from lots of marketers, you see the exact same trend. Super high confidence in just using social media, but then a huge drop when it comes to analyzing the metrics. Even among the professionals, there's this massive gap between doing the thing and actually understanding the results.
So, this brings the focus right back around to you. Maybe it's time we stopped measuring our digital lives in hours spent and started thinking about what skills we've actually built.
Because look, real digital literacy is a journey. It starts by moving from just using tools to actively creating with them. Then it evolves from simply creating to analyzing the impact of what you've made, and finally, it's about using that analysis to build a strategy. That is the critical difference between just being online and actually being effective online. So I'm going to ask you again, but with a new perspective. Forget screen time. Looking at that digital skill ladder, from simple posting all the way up to complex strategy, where do you honestly stand? At the end of the day, it's time to reframe how we think about our digital lives.
True digital literacy isn't measured in screen time, it's measured in skills. So the real question is, what skill will you build next?